before we get to the world, before we get to the country, before we get to the whole universe, the human race, what do we get first? We get to the family. Family in Makia consists of your parents, your husband, your children, and your siblings. You know, people don't understand this family circle and the relationship you build till you leave or till actual the person by. Okay. Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to BVI Channel 1 Plus. I'm your girl Bella. On this episode of Palava, this lady has come out to say that one day the brother's wife is claiming the properties just because the brother give birth to girls. Anyway, take a look at what she said and we talk.
My name is Adeze. My husband of 11 years died on a Tuesday morning, and by Thursday evening his family was already in our compound. Not to mourn him, not to sit with me or comfort me, not to comfort my daughters who were still crying themselves to sleep every night. They came with a notepad. His younger brother Emmanuel was walking around the compound with an actual notepad, writing things down. The compound my husband built from the scratch. The compound he built from nothing. A 6-bedroom duplex with boys' quarters. A garden my husband planted himself because he said he wanted our daughters to grow up around nature. Emmanuel was moving around the compound like a vulture, pointing at the cars, the Prado and the Camry. A Prado that my husband bought for me when I gave birth to my last daughter. He was pointing at it like it belongs to him, writing it down. Then he walked inside to the cabinet where my husband kept documents, and then turned around and asked the houseboy where the keys were. I came down from upstairs and asked him, Emmanuel, what are you doing? He turned around and looked at me with so much disgust. Emmanuel that used to call me our wife, our senior wife. Emmanuel that used to eat my food every Christmas. Emmanuel that used to eat my pepper and oil looked at me like I was a stranger. And he had the guts to turn around, called me by my name, Adeze. We need to start talking about the properties. We need to start talking about the plaza in Oka Road. We need to start talking about the plots of lands in Inewi. He went on and said, yes, we need to start talking about all his properties, all his houses everywhere. You know the situation. You know you do not have a male child for my brother Adeze. You already know the situation. And this vulture is talking about all my husband's investment properties. The ones that pays my daughter's school fees. And this is happening barely few days his brother passed. He said because I do not have a male child, all my husband's property will go back to his family. The plaza he spent 4 years in building, everything, all his investment properties will go back to his family. Me and my daughters get to have nothing, even the house we live in. So basically me and my daughters will have to live empty-handed. I didn't scream at him at all. I didn't throw things. Where will I find strength? My husband basically just passed a few days ago. I am just starting to mourn. And all this is happening. I just turned around and I told him, Emmanuel, get out of my compound right now. This vulture laughed in my face. Yes, he actually laughed. He turned around while walking out of the gate. He said, Adeze, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Before he finally walked out, he said, you are just a woman. I cannot trade words with a woman. You need to start thinking about your daughters from now on. You are just a woman, but don't make this harder than it needs to be. And I responded to him and said, oh yes, I am actually thinking about my daughters. And that's the reason why I am not going to move an inch. They thought grief has finished me. They thought grief has weakened me. They forgot the woman who has held this family down for 11 years is still standing here. And that woman is me. And I am the woman.
So you've heard from the woman. Now, let's dissect it. First of all, Number one is the shock of the person we die, we by. You get the person won onye wonare gana ebeguda akwa na eruju na mmadu wonare ya, especially young people. Now, somebody is crying that na somebody wonare ya. The other part of the family, nwanne the guy bia is a property. It's not as if na this person has a property enwere umazi, you know, because now ana-ekwu ihe ana-eme ụmụ nwaanyị na Igbo, things have changed. You know, when you go to the courts or when you take legal measures, you see that, or this you now, but these are the effects of ajo ndị okenye alụlụ, because people ada aghọta ife fa na-eme till ote aka. Now ihe niile emebego, onwe ndị na-eche ka nwanne fa nwụọ ka fa kpakọla ife niile onwe ndị na-eche ka nne na nna fa or one or two things ka ife mee next of kin ka o inherit ye ụfọdụ ife. Let me tell you, life is more than inheritance, because onwe ndị believe that na ụmụ nwoke 7 n'ụwa adịgo mma. Do you know that na okay, we heard about the accident mmadụ ada ekpe ekpele ka ife ọjọọ mee ya or ka ife ọjọọ dakwasị family, but akwe unu na onwe somebody nwụọ somewhere, right? Accident mee somewhere, ụmụazị sie somewhere wee nata nwụsịsịa ụdị ihe adị, right? And ọ bụrụ na onye a nwee 7 boys, ichekwudo na 7 boys gị nkewa ijilie na-eme ọnụ. Ndị Igbo si na ejiri isi ntụtụ anyị isi. Okwu a bụ inu bụlụ okwu. You know, you don't expect me or onwe ndị chọọ ka akọwa ya, ọ bụ inu bụlụ okwu, because you cannot brag because of your luxury, because luxury don't last. You know, it depends though. So now this person is mourning the husband that she you know, that died, and now the family, somebody somewhere is now fighting property. First of all, this lady is not coming from a place of you know, ode ewutezie na dienwo na ife na ewutezie kita property ga na azozi. Property Ghana Azozi. Now, do you know why these things are happening? People like Gege will come on social media. Now, one day fulefu. Ụfọdụ ụmụ nwoke nye nwekwa n'ife oji nwunye wee kpọlụ. Nye nkwa n'ife oji nwunye wee kpọlụ. Ibuluzie ewu enwere ife ị ga-eji your wife kpọlụ. In as much as na ụmụ nwanyị na-emeka ikwa ife iwe. Look at Mr. Ibu and Ndibie now. The man anwurugo. Ndị bie na ayozi ego, you know, nke a bụ another topic, we'll get to that, you know. But now this man no somewhere na fight property nwunye nwanne nwoke. There are many ways to kill a rat, you know. Ihe niile abụrụ ịpụta na social media, but social media is another way for people to understand what could happen, because sometimes people feel that na ihe na-eme no anyway o meterom, because no meterom ogbasarolum. Ndị Igbo ji na-ekwu okwu sị na ebulu ozu onye ọzọ ọ dịka o mee n'osisi, you know, o mee somebody ọ dịka sif na onwe onye ọzọ mee, mana o mee gị ịghọta. You know, in 2026 you know, somebody anazo property nwanne mana the man nwekwa family, you know, nwee ụmụazị ebezika ịchọ ka ụmụazị ajebe just ka faga ya leba. You know, there are many ways to kill a rat. You know, there are many ways to buy a rat. You know, just you know, either you go to the court, settle amicably, or invite the family meeting, you know, and try to see 1 or 2 reasons. Because just like she said, that this person eats from the pot, you know, during Christmas, during festive period, that they've come together. So what now happened? Could it be because most of the times just like I used Gege as a reference, because most people will be in the ear of somebody. Okay, maybe if you see that a family that was together in love, try as much as possible to salvage it, because everything love is very, very important in families. However, we've tried to deny it. Love is very important in the mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, everywhere, because the effect of manipulation is real. The effect of rage and jealousy is real. This is the chaos in everywhere. However you feel about this video, please leave your comments on the comment section. I'm your girl Bella. Palava, you know the finish. Until I come again, peace out.